Oh. Well, that didn't go too well. I think my little sticky thing might be getting a bit hot. Right, oh, let me in. Right, we've got to quickly gas. Get off my driveway. How's it going, everybody? Nice to see you all again. So this is just going to be a quick video. Well, might be quick, might not be quick. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm in the Qashqai now. I thought I'd just do a quick video about the importance of having like a little repair network when you start doing this job. I've had quite a lot of comments, quite a lot of messages from people that are now getting into this, want to get into this, have been into it for a little bit, that sort of thing. So I just thought I would tell people about my opinion on the importance of getting a little mechanical repair network around you when you start. And it's best to get it quite early. And I'll tell you why. Now, most people that get into this job, definitely not all of them, it's probably more of a 50-50 actually, but have got some sort of mechanical knowledge and can change the oil and filter on a car fairly easily. I mean, all you've got to do is go onto a YouTube tutorial now and it will tell you how to do it and what to get, and anyone can buy the parts and anyone can buy the oil. The problem that you've got, most of the cars that you buy, most of the cars that I buy, 70% of them need a service. You know, it is one, no matter how silly or petty it may sound, it is one reason. Hold on, let me turn this aircon on. A bit warm in here, I've been rushing around as always. It is always one reason why people trade their cars in. They think, well, it's due for a service. It's normally the timing belt service. But most people think, wow, it's due for a service. It needs tyres, it needs brakes. Maybe I'll trade it in. So most of the cars that you buy in will need a service. Even if it's just a minor service, just an oil and filter service, most of them will need it. And if they don't need it, for the price that it costs you, it makes a massive amount of sense to get it done anyway. The problem that you come up with when you do it yourself, there's two major problems. The first one is when you tell someone that a prospective client, customer that comes to look at one of your cars, even if you are the most honest, trustworthy person on the planet, when you tell someone, yes, I've changed the oil and filter, it's had a service, you're a liar. And you are a liar because you're a car salesman. And unfortunately, the reputation that you will have straight away is that you are a liar. Not only that, if you do it yourself, you will not have a service stamp to put in a service book. 50% of cars out there have still got service books. I love a service book. Furious when everything went digital and you say, oh, good Lord. Mercs went digital like 2010, so did BMs. It's furious. I love a service book. But if you do it yourself, you don't get a stamp. So if you think about it, for the cost of a oil and filter at a chosen repairer of your choice, they can usually do it for not a great deal more than it will cost you to get the parts, and you get a stamp in the service book. So not only does all the service history look up to date, it looks like you've prepped the car a lot better. So I was really lucky when I came into this. We'll go into that in another video, but when I first started doing this, where I stored cars, it was the yard of a workshop. I was amazingly lucky. So when I needed, and they did MOTs, when I needed an oil filter and an MOT, I sold a car, I'd phone the guy up, tell him that he needed, and he'd do it like the same day. I was so lucky. It all fell. We'll get into that in another video. But when it comes to choosing your chosen repairer, you have to think about a certain few things, and the biggest one is the size of them. No matter where you're located, if you go up to a small repairer, like a one-man band type, he or she will not have the time to be able to fit in your work for trade price when he's got retail work backed up for weeks and weeks. And if he's any good, they will be backed up for weeks. So they won't have time for someone like you to go in there and want a trade deal on an oil and filter. They won't do it. So you need to go to a repairer who is of a fairly established size. So there's 3 or 4 fitters in the workshop, so there isn't only one that gets tied up with your work. That's the first thing that you should choose straight away. Obviously, secondly, you need to choose someone that you can trust, who is competent to work on cars, look at their reviews, and then approach them and see what sort of deal that they will do. So I'm in the Qashqai now. It is 4 o'clock and it's getting picked up at 7 o'clock. It was MOT'd yesterday, it's sold. I've got to get an oil and filter done on it. And the reason why that is, it was last serviced at 63, it's now done 71. It needs a service, and I'm going to get it serviced for them. And I'm sort of lucky now, so I'm going to show you, the place that will do this is a place called the Hadley Tyre Group. I'll put a picture up of it now. Now, I'm really lucky to show you who works here. When I was in the Merc workshop, the manager, who's called Glenn, I'll put a picture of him up now, he used to work with me for a little while in the workshop. So straight away, that's mega. I already know him. I know that he's switched on enough to know what I need. It's amazing. So then he's the manager. He's not in the workshop, but he's the manager. Secondly, do you know what? Quickly cut away there. So I'm not sure I said enough good stuff about Glenn to make him think next time I phone him up, he needs to help me out even more. He is an incredibly efficient man. He's got cool tattoos. He always helps me out when I phone him up. He always fits me in, and he smells good. You've got his number 2, who's called Will I Am. He's not the Will I Am, but I call him Will I Am. He's second in command and like a cam belt specialist. He'll do all the timing belts, he'll do all of that. And he's a really good guy and he's really competent, and I'll trust him with my work as well. You've got another fitter in there called Stuart. He's like, put a picture of him up now, he's like the clutch specialist. So if you've got fairly big, heavy, dirty jobs, he'll be doing them. Out the front, they've got tyre fitting bays. Their number 1 sort of tyre fitter is a young lad called Callum. Put a picture of him up now. He's a good lad, very good tyre fitter, very polite. He will always do what you want. I mean, I have the tyres put at front, or the wheels put front to rear on a lot of my cars, purely to make the tyres last longer for the next client. I'm going to do it with this. And he'll do all of that work, and he'll do it really well. There's a girlie in there called Sophie. She literally wouldn't let me take her picture. So unless I can get a picture now of her and ask very nicely, you won't see her, but I'll try my hardest. Do you know what? I'm going to be completely honest. I've literally just gone round in a circle so I can approach Hadley Tyres. Yeah, I'm all right for time. So I can approach Hadley Tyres and show you on the video. But so these are the guys who will do my run-of-the-mill stuff now. Yes, I have got specialists in BMW. You've seen Hemmingstone, they do my BMWs. I've got specialists in Volkswagen Audi Group, Pinnacle, who I've taken the Seat Leon to, who you might have seen on there in an update, but if you don't, you'll see it on the next one, because I had to drop the Leon off before the roof was being done and all that sort of stuff. But that's it. I'll show you this repairer, but it sort of shows the importance of having a little network of repairers when you get into this. No matter how competent you are at working on cars, you can't do everything yourself, and in reality it doesn't make financial or practical sense to do everything yourself. Oh, the Nino coming, better let them out. So yeah, so this is where we're now going. I'll show you. Here we are. A few people having their tyres fitted. There's Sophie. Oh, look, she's in there. Look, she's changing a tyre. Wade. Oh, bless her, she Wade. I'll go around here to the workshops. And this is where all the magic happens. Blimey, they've got a cherry picker in here. I could have borrowed that the other day. And there we go. That's it. Job done. It's all done. Who's bibbing? New engine oil and filter. I don't know who that was. New engine oil and filter done. Wheels swapped front to rear. Tyre pressures, wheels torqued. Ooh. Lock and wheel bolt key back where it went. Service indicator reset. And now we're stuck in traffic because that's rush hour. But that is it. You know, now, hold on, let me do this window up, because they're now closing down for the... So, I've completely forgot that I was going to go to the car wash now to wash this before she picks it up. It's only dusty, but I hate handing over a dusty car. So I will... God, I can't turn around. Just been to the car wash, 5:45. Just picking the car up at 6:30. Ooh, it's going to be a bit tight. Just get home in time to do the invoice and just tidy up the watermarks. But that is it. So I was going to, I wanted to take a little bit of footage in the workshop with the car on the ramp to sort of aid my description of the workshop, but there was some, how can we put this, very questionable illustrations on the wall, which no matter what angle I seemed to try and take it, there was one in the picture, and I don't endorse such pictures. So but that's pretty much it. That is an overview of having a little repairer, how handy it is, and how it is a bit of a must really when you start doing this job. Now, the customer that has bought this won't have to think about servicing it. She won't have to think, the tyres, she won't have to think anything now. So you think when she comes and picks the car up, I will tell her that. I've told her that I'm going to get it serviced, but she will now know that it's been serviced. And for the value of what it has just cost me to get that done, it's almost priceless for, I suppose, her experience with me. I would like to think that she'll go home and tell her other half, oh yeah, they serviced it, we haven't got to spend a penny on it. And then hopefully word spreads, and that's when they come back to you. You know, reputation's everything. Well, that's what I hope anyway. That's how I've always done it, and no one's ever said, no, please don't service my car. I know that much. Oh, I'll tell you what I didn't do. Now, admittedly, I have just upset the impeccable service history on that car. If I show you these pages of the service book, this service books don't come any better than this, that car of this age. And I know I've upset it with one that isn't a Nissan service, but the car doesn't need to go to Nissan now. It's 14 years old. So, that's pretty much it of this one. I just thought I'd do a little video for people that are getting into this to help them out a little bit. I'd like to, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm right, I know that, but it's what I've done and it's worked for me. So when I think of little things that might help you guys along the way, I'll do little videos about it and try and help people out where I can. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching this one. Oh, actually, before you guys go, there's one more thing I wanted to ask, and I don't know if it's the done thing to ask. I'm new to YouTube, you guys know that. But when I look on my analytics and at the subscriber side of it, out of people that are watching my videos, there's only 18% of them that are subscribed. Is that because people go on my videos, don't like what they're watching and then watch something else, or is that because people are watching and they just don't subscribe? The only reason all of you guys on here watching this will have way more experience with YouTube than what I have, and you'll know the answer to that question. So I thought I'd ask you guys, and I don't know if you're supposed to ask, but if I'm doing something wrong, I would like to know about it. But it's I don't know, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching this one. I will look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Cheerio.